now I'm recording.
Hello.
I beat Sammy's team on Saturday.
That's Cat.
Right, so we've got this slope-intercept form, y equals half x minus 5, so I wanted to convert it into standard form. The first step, I multiplied everything by 2. Why did I do that?
To balance it.
To make the x an
Not to
integer.
balance it, it is balanced on the equals. It was to
Get rid of the fraction.
because it has to be not a fraction and half. How do you make a half not a fraction? Multiply by 2. Yeah? I could actually multiply a half by any even number. I could have multiplied by 4, multiplied by 6, anything I like, but I chose to multiply by 2 because that gives it in its lowest term. Right? And I've done it on all 3 parts. Why?
I said so.
You have to do it in one part, you just have to do it.
Exactly. If I'm going to double it, I double the whole thing. I can't double one small part side, can I? What do you mean, yeah? That's why you stay focused while I'm talking.
Yeah.
Alright, so then once we've doubled each one, we ended up with 2 y's, 1x instead of half an x, and minus 10 instead of minus 5. And then we ended up by subtracting x, and the only reason I subtracted x was because in standard form you want the x's and y's on one side and then the constant value of the number on its own on the other side. Right, so I just subtracted x, so I've got 2 y's minus x equals negative 10. And that's us done. I've finished with that. Alright. Just so you are aware, I could have done a slightly different step. So when I'm at my 2y equals x minus 10, I could have done this. You all paying attention? I could have added 10 to both sides, giving me 2y plus 10 is equal to x. I could then have subtracted 2 y's and ended up with 10 equals x minus 2y. Right? Is that also in standard form?
No.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So just to show you, look, that 2y minus x equals negative 10 and 10 equals x minus 2y is the same thing. Right? We've just done a focus on one side of the equals or the other. Either or is absolutely fine. But if you're checking answers in the back of the maths book, for instance, they'll have one or the other, and you might go, oh, therefore I've got it wrong. But you need to be aware. Alright?
Okay.
I could set it up for you. Alright. Looking at the other ones that we did then. Alright. So you've got a whole table here full of all of these. We've just done them. Do we need to do another one, or do you reckon you could get on with the others in terms of standard form?
Maybe
Do another one.
One more? Okay. Let's have a look at this one. Y equals 2/3 x plus 8.
Okay. That's the only one I don't know how to do so.
Y equals 2/3 x plus 8. Right. What can't we have, Miles?
I have
So what do we do? What?
Come
one
on.
third.
2.
3. Multiply by 3 because
Why is it
that's because this is divided by 3, so the focus I'm looking at is the divide by that number. So that's what I'm then going to multiply by. Do the opposite, exactly. So I'm going to multiply by 3, multiply by 3. Now, what do I come out with?
3y equals x plus. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be 1? Oh no.
You're almost correct.
What?
It's not.
It is.
Wait, what?
It's 3y, but the x is missing something.
Wait, it is third, isn't it?
Isn't it
3x.
3x?
2x.
Miles.
Because you can still.
Give it around.
Right? This is, remember what we said, this could be, so 2/3 of x is also 2 x's divided by 3, if you want to write it like that. So when I multiply by 3 to get rid of the divide by 3, I still leave that 2x.
So then you have to divide the x by 2.
No!
Oh, you just subtract 2x.
Right, because I don't want fractions. If I now divided by 2, I'd make some other fractions. We just don't want that. You know, there's no limits to what these integers can be. They just have to be integers. So yes, what do we do next?
Subtract 2x.
Subtract my 2x from both sides. Okay, and I get left with
3y minus 2x.
Smart. That is so far.
so that is like finished
I finished Mr. Potts.
finished standard form.
Hold on, Mr. Potts.
Start recording. So I'm just going to go through some of these, right? What form is this one in? A. Is it in?
Standard.
2y equals 2m.
Okay, so has it got? Is it point slope?
No.
Is it gradient intercept?
Yeah.
Is it standard?
No.
No. It's not, this is none of them. So it's just a bit of a mess at the moment. So we want to put it in gradient intercept. So gradient intercept is y equals mx plus c. So we kind of got it as y equals x plus c, but the trouble is we've got two y's, right? So we can't have two y's, we must have one y. Now I was chatting down here about, well, what are the options? Well, if I've got two y's and I only want one y, I could subtract a y. That's an option. But if I subtracted a y from both sides, if I subtract a y, I'd have to do it to the other side, and then it's still not like that, okay? So the other option is to divide it by 2, right? And if 2 y's are that, well, 1 y must be half of all of that, which is only negative 2x and only plus 4. So that's the first thing. Okay. D, is this point slope? Gradient intercept? Standard? None of them. Okay, why is it not standard?
Because it's not an integer.
Okay, not integers. Good. First off, let's make it y equals mx plus c. Same problem. I've got half a y. What do I do to sort that out there? I was looking at math.
Yeah, you said David.
Which David?
Either or.
Multiple.
Times by 2. So if I times by 2, everything by 2, I get 1y minus 6x's equals 10.
So then you just need to add 6x.
Now I add the 6x's to both sides, and I get y equals
6x plus
6x's plus 10. Now, one of the problems that I've been spotting is people are adding and subtracting amounts of x's and y's, thinking I can just add 3 there and leave the x behind. Doesn't work like that. That is not a subtract 3. Okay, another way to look at this is to think if I had blocks like on that algebra tiles where that's a y and that's an x, right? This would look like half a y, okay, but minus 3 x's. It makes no sense when you think of it like that to add 3 to get, because there is no 3 anymore. Right? So you must get out of the habit of looking at these numbers as a number to add and subtract. It's an amount of x's. The final one, which is going to be the trickiest one that I've put on my screen, right? Before we go, I'm not going to do it. Any ideas how we get rid of 2 fractions?
No clue.
You have to find
The
the
lowest
UBI.
common denominator.
And what's the lowest common denominator?
I don't know.
So if David, shut up.
So
if I multiply by 6, I can get rid of both of those. Right? So that's what we'll check into next